next? Who next? Who next?
Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I am back with another Who's Next. All right, y'all, let's put the spotlight on Rose Namajunas. We're what, like 2 weekends removed from UFC 261 now, and yeah, Rose Namajunas, she was able to capture the belt once again by first round stoppage over Zhang Weili. And now, you know, everybody's kind of been, you know, trying to figure out who would be next, who's another good opponent for Rose Namajunas. Of course, you know, I've been playing matchmaker myself, you know, been trying to figure out who would be a good opponent for, you know. So I came up with my list once again about who's next for Rose Namajunas, who would make a good, logical opponent. And I also included some other opponents that, you know, a lot of people have been, you know, mentioning as well. You know, they've kind of been throwing themselves in the mix. So I'm going to go down my list here. It's going to include both fighters that I feel like, you know, are good choices for Rose Namajunas, as well as fighters that I don't really think deserve a title shot yet. So let's go ahead and kick this thing off, man. Let's go ahead and start off with the logical opponent right here. The number one would be Namajunas / Carla Esparza winner. Whoever wins this fight in 2 weeks is for sure the legit contender for a title shot. You know, Jan is number 3, Carla's number 4. So whoever wins, that should elevate them to take on the champion without a doubt. You know, I feel like, you know, this is a new look for Rose whenever it comes to Jan. And it's been over, what, almost 7 years since Carla and Rose, they shared the octagon. And since then, you know, a lot of things have changed. You know, Rose went a different direction. Carla, she's went a different direction. But right now, I feel like, you know, that would still make for an interesting fight. And also, you know, Jan, if she was to win, hey, she's on a 6-fight run in the UFC right now. If she wins, she'll be on a 7-fight run. Carla, she's on a 4-fight win. She wins, she'll be on a 5-fight run against top 15 names. So that alone for both fighters is enough to give them a title shot. But, you know, if you want to narrow it down, Jan and Carla, they'll battle it out in 2 weeks, and then we'll have a winner for Rose Namajunas to face. And another thing, style-wise, let's say if Jan wins, I think she would bring an exciting fight. You know, nice stand-up matchup with the champion. Pressure and volume similar to Wmma. It might play into more so of Rose's favor, but you never know. It might be an interesting fight. You know, the pressure and the strength of Jan might play off, and it might make for a challenging fight. But let's say if Carla wins, this might actually be a real challenge, because Rose, she's improved since the last time they fought. You know, she's definitely improved since the loss to Carla. But Carla, she's also made some subtle improvements. You know, she's kind of been on the low while everybody's been focused on, you know, the top level fighters like Wmma, Rose, Zhang. You know, Carla, she's been quietly moving, you know, making some improvements in her game. Some of the stuff ain't noticeable to a lot of people, but I've been checking Carla out. You know, she's definitely gotten stronger. Her wrestling's gotten better. And, you know, she's really getting jacked. You know, the muscles she's putting on, her jiu-jitsu's improved. Her striking's a little bit better. You know, she's using that striking to get takedowns. She put up a good competitive fight against Alexa Grasso. So, yeah, I feel like, you know, Carla Esparza, she definitely has made some improvements. And, again, she's on this 4-fight win streak. And people can't forget, she might have that mental edge over Rose Namajunas going into this fight if she beats Namajunas. And so that's definitely the most logical choice for Rose Namajunas next. Next opponent, Jessica Andrade. I had to throw her name in here. You know, 3rd fight is a possibility for Rose Namajunas and Jessica Andrade after seeing how easily Valentina Shevchenko dominated Jessica Andrade. I know after losing a few title fights, you know, a lot of people say no, but since Jessica and Rose are 1-1 in the octagon, they could easily make that fight. Because, you know, Jessica, of course, she stopped Rose in their first fight in 2 rounds. Then she dropped a close decision to Rose in the 2nd fight last year. So Jessica may take that move back down, because this is where she'll be more competitive, and, you know, this is where she could rack up wins once again. Because after losing such a dominant way against Valentina Shevchenko, a lot of people are just putting the question marks over the head, like, what is she going to do now? What is she going to do at flyweight? Like, she'll look good against these other contenders at flyweight, but will she ever become a champion at flyweight? I don't think so. You know, so I think her better choice to become a 2-time champion would be to move back down to strawweight, face off against Rose Namajunas, and that's a fight that, you know, we can't call once again. It'll be 50-50 all over again. Next up, Zhang Weili. Now, Zhang Weili, she made it known on IG that she's ready to come back and run it back with Rose Namajunas. You know, she feels like it was a minor mistake and she can return and give the champ a good fight and win it back. I had to put her on this list because she still is the number 1 contender, and seeing she was the last champion, she can still make that argument that she deserves it. Now, aside from the mistake, I think that she could still give Rose Namajunas a tough fight if she can adjust early and use her strengths that I know she has. I, for one, do believe that there is no need to rush it. And Zhang, she should get another fight as a tune-up, since she was all for a whole year in between title defenses. You know, there are still some holes in her game that Rose could easily exploit again if she can't get going. You know, some people called it a lucky shot, but to me, it wasn't luck at all. So I feel like Zhang Weili has that argument. So if Dana White wants to make that fight again, let's say if they make it in China, you know, that's a possibility. I could see that. But the other side of me definitely says that there's no need to rush it after Rose Namajunas was she so easily executed a great game plan in number one to keep her on the outside and just land one big shot just like that and knock her out. Because like I said, that wasn't luck. That was perfect execution. And I thought it would have came later on, but that just showed you how focused Rose was on Zhang Weili's style and how much she studied her. So we don't know what else she studied. Like, if there were some moments where Zhang Weili could go on the inside and make this a dogfight, Rose might have some other game plans, you know, some other tools up her sleeve, you know, other tricks up her sleeve where she would have went in and, you know, nullified that as well. So Zhang Weili is another choice that a lot of people have been bringing up. You know, of course, Zhang herself and a lot of fans, they want to see her go back in there because they feel like it's a lucky shot. But like I said, it wasn't. So that's one that I feel like it can wait. I'd like to see Zhang just kind of take another fight, just get straight, get straight back into the, you know, gym and start working on those little holes in her defense. All right. So last but not least, last in a lot of fans' eyes right now is least Wmma. Wmma, she's been vocal about coming back, but only coming back for title fights. She made it known on Twitter and through media that she wants to take on Rose for a third fight or Zhang Weili in a second fight. Whoever won the fight, she wanted it. Now, whether we agree if it happens or not, she could possibly get it. She still holds that number 2 spot. She was the longest reigning champion, and she does bring fans out with her character and her style. I know there are more exciting styles out there, but the UFC has done crazier things, right? So if this is the only way she can come back, they might entertain it. You never know. They might entertain this. Now, I disagree with it, but they just might. And of course, at this point, you know, this fight really wouldn't be a danger for Rose. Like I said, you know, style-wise, at this point, this could be seen as a tune-up fight for Rose. So seeing as Rose is 2-0 against Wmma, if she wants the easiest of title defenses just to stay right, you know, until she can get the Jan versus Carla winner or Jessica Andrade or anything like that, you know, Rose could take this fight and just say, I'll go in there, fight her again, give her a title shot, send her on her way, you know, because Rose, again, is the better striker. She's much more sharper, a better counterpuncher. You know, her footwork and timing are very troublesome for Wmma. So with that, Wmma's chance, you know, of getting the title shot could be 50-50. You know, they could say, let's give it to her if Rose just wants to stay busy fight. That's all Wmma is to Rose at this point, you know, after going 2-0 and, you know, some very, very easy wins compared to some of other Rose's wins. So this could be a good fight for Rose. Again, Rose holds those 2 wins over, but since it's been over a year and it still hasn't taken Wmma out of the rankings, it might stand for something. You know, like I said, the UFC's, they've done crazier things. But me, I just put her on the list because she's been talking. But I wanted to let you know that, no, she's probably the one opponent that I wouldn't, you know, give her a shot at Rose Namajunas. So, yeah, that's the list of who's next. Of course, number 1 for me would be Jan / Carla. The winner of that fight gets it. And possibly a third fight with Jessica Andrade. That would make sense because, like I said, Jessica Andrade, you know, she's in, let's say her chances of winning the belt at flyweight are pretty slim to none, you know. So moving back down to strawweight, actually being competitive against Rose Namajunas in the third fight, that seems like the more logical answer. And again, Zhang Weili, that's, you know, kind of up in the air. It depends. It really depends if they just want to make some money and take the fight to China. It could be competitive over there. You know, like the mental edge could be on Zhang in that fight. And of course, hard no for Wmma. I know she holds a number 2 spot, but you know, that's just a popularity thing. The UFC, they know being out of the octagon for a year and some change, you need to be down the rankings at number 15 or out of the rankings at this point. So let me know, guys, in the comment section what y'all think. Again, I feel like Jan versus Carla, that would be the most logical. Then Jessica Andrade, then Zhang Weili, and then Wmma. Really no, though. But let me know, guys, what y'all think. Who's next for Rose Namajunas? Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.